or not, and my screen is visible to you or not. Please try to check once. So please respond through anyone chat box. May I continue my session now? Is it my screen is visible to you? Oh, yes. Please just wait 1 minute. See on the screen. I'm right. May I continue my session now? Okay. In the last class, we are discussing about what is a crash recovery. Okay. In the last class, we are discussing about what is a crash recovery and what are the different types of failures classification, and we are discussing about the storage structure, okay, and how what is the property of recovery and atmostic. So these type of topics are discussed in the last class. Okay, we try to continue the same session today also. Okay, so just to try to revise what we discussed in the last class. Okay, I hope all of the members able to see the screen in the proper way. So I will try to increase the font size. Okay. I hope all of the members able to see the screen now. Okay. So first of all, what is a crash recovery? So that means in some type of situations occurring the crashes to the system. So that means, so maybe the failure. So maybe in the case of system failure or maybe the logical failure. So due to the causing of those type of crashes, maybe the chance of losing the data. Okay, so once the data is committed to the disk, we can retrieve any number of times. That is the one of the advantages of DBMS. We also know about that. In the case of database architecture also, we are discussing about this. Recovery manager, transaction manager, lock manager, am I right? So recovery manager purpose is to recover the data even though occurring any type of the failures to the system. Okay, so just to try to see on the screen, DBMS is highly complex system with the hundreds of transactions being executed by every second. Okay, so that means number of transactions are executed by the DBMS for every second. So the durability and robustness of DBMS depends upon its complex architecture and its underlying hardware and system software. So that means here the capacity of the DBMS is based upon the hardware, at the same time software also. So if it fails or crashes, so amid transactions, it is expected that the system would follow some sort of algorithm or techniques to recover the lost data. So that means here we are based upon so many algorithms. So those are used for to get the data. So even though occurring the failures. Okay, in the last class we are already discussing about this. So that's why I try to just try to discuss in the one word only. Okay, failure classification. Here we are consider the transaction failure. So what is the meaning of transaction failure? We are already discussing about the states of the transaction. Am I right? So what are the states of the transaction? Active transaction, partial committed state, failure state, abort state. So once the transaction starts its execution, so it is in the active state. So if it is execute some of the instructions in a transaction, so that is in the partial committed state. Okay, if it is completes all operations of the transaction, then it is in the committed state. Okay, during the execution of the transaction, if any failure is occurred, so then that is leads to the failure state. Whenever it is leads to the failure state, then automatically it will be leads to the abort state also. So whenever it is in the abort state, then kill the transaction. Then the transaction again performing the restart, and that the same transaction will be maybe identified by a new transaction. Okay, so this procedure will automatically performed by the DBMS. So that means here we are discussing about the transaction failure. So what is the need? So what is the cause to occurring the transaction failure? So here we are consider the two types of errors are there. So one is the logical error and another one is the system error. So what is the meaning of logical error? So that means if the code is having the error, then that is nothing but a logical error. Okay, so that means, for example, here we are executing some instructions. Maybe that instructions having some error. So then the type of the failure will be referred as a logical error. Why? Because it is a software error or it is a coding error. Okay, so another one is the system error. So what is the meaning of system error? Means nothing but maybe the chance of occurring the power failure or maybe some type of device failure. So those are considered into the system errors, and at the same time we can consider the deadlocks also. Okay, what is the deadlock? In the last class also we are discussing about deadlock. So whenever transactions not able to acquiring the lock on the requested data items, so then there is maybe the chance of occurring the deadlock. Am I right? So in the last class also I'm saying about that, and we are should be consider the four conditions. What are that four conditions? Can you say anyone, please? So what are the four conditions to occurring the necessary conditions to occurring the deadlock? So what is that? Can you send me that answers through chat box? Anyone, please? So actually, I'm saying the four conditions. So if those four conditions are there, then only we are able to specify the deadlock is occurred to the system. What's the reason? So you simply remember those type of four conditions. So maybe those are maybe okay. For example, mutual exclusion, no preemption, circular wait, and hold and wait. Am I right? So these four conditions are. So just I try to type. So for your I hope all of the members able to see this screen now. Okay. So one is the mutual exclusion. So I am repeating this one. So this is very important topic. In the case of, so I think please note down this if you having the possibility, mutual exclusion and no preemption. Okay. No preemption means nothing but not giving the chance for another transaction execution or to sharing the data item. Okay, so no preemption. So and the third one is circular wait. So that means these are forming like as a cycle. Okay, and what about the fourth one means nothing but hold and wait. Okay, so what is the meaning of hold and wait means nothing but here. So before requesting one data item by the transaction, it should be hold one data item at least. Okay, hold and wait. So these are the four necessary conditions to occurring the deadlock. Okay, so these are the four necessary conditions. Necessary conditions for occurring the deadlock. For deadlock, okay. Okay, I hope all of the members able to understood. So in the last class also we are discussing about this. Am I right? Okay. So now we'll try to discuss about the system crash. So there are problems external to the system that may cause the system to stop abruptly and cause the system to crash. For example, interruptions in the power supply may cause the failure of underlying hardware or software failure. So these are the reasons. These type of conditions are we can refer to as system crashes. Okay. So in some type of situations occurring the disk failures also in early days, the of technology of evolution, it was common problem where hard disk drives or storage drives used to fail frequently. So disk failures include formation of bad sectors, unreachability to the disk head crash, or any other failure which destroys all part of the disk storage. Okay. So nothing but in some type of situations may be occurring the chance of disk failure also. Okay. So next, what about the storage? Here we are discussing about the two types of storages. What are the volatile storage and non-volatile storage? I think the name is implies. Volatile storage means nothing but it is a temporary storage that is also referred as a primary storage also. Okay. So why we are referred as a primary devices means nothing but, so which type of devices, which type of storage devices are directly connected to the CPU? Those are referred as a primary storage. Okay. So what about the secondary storage means nothing but which type of storage devices are not directly connected to the CPU. Those are nothing but referred as a non-volatile storage also or secondary storage device also. Okay. So we are discussing about another thing. So in the last class, that is recovery and atmosity. So that means when a system crashes, it may have several transactions being executed and various files open for them to modify data items. So transactions are made of various operations which are atomic nature. So but according to the acid properties of the DBMS, atomicity of transactions as a whole must be maintained. That is either all operations are executed or none. So we also know about this property. So that means how we are able to recover the data from the disk. So if we are maintaining the atomicity only, we are able to recover the data. We also know about that. So we are discussing in the transaction management properties, right? So what are the properties? Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So in one word, atomicity means nothing but consider either all actions of the transaction or not consider any one of the action in a transaction. What about consistency? At any time of the situation, we should be consider the consistent or correct values in a database. Okay, what about the isolation? So when we are allow more than one transaction at a time, we need to provide some separation between them. Otherwise, occurring the conflicts between the transactions, then maybe the chance to losing the data also. Okay, so another one is the durability. Once the data is committed to the disk and maintain the atmospheric property and maintain the consistency, then we are able to recover the data from the disk. So the same thing is again mentioned here. So that means how we are able to recover the data. So if we are maintaining the atmospheric property, what is the meaning of atmospheric? So nothing but here, so all operations are executed, or none of the operation will be executed. Okay, so that means even though some of the actions in a transaction is executed, that is not considered. So if the transaction executes all operations, then only it will be considered it is a successful transaction and it is committed to the disk. Then which are committed to the disk, those are only able to we are recover from the disk. Okay, when a DBMS recovers from the crash, it should be maintained the following. It should check the status of all the transactions which were being executed. So that means in the last class also I'm saying about the 3 steps to recover any type of the data. So whenever crashes is occur to the system, how we are which type of steps are used to recover the data. So I'm previously saying about that. So just again I try to type again. So please try to observe here. Please try to observe. Yeah, we are observe here. So here we are using 3 steps for any recovery. So especially, so the same thing will be followed in the ARIES algorithm. Okay, ARIES algorithm. So what is the meaning of ARIES? Algorithm for recovery. Okay, isolation and exploiting the semantics. Okay, so these are used for 3 steps are used for recover the data from system crashes. Okay, please remember these 3 topics. So these 3 points in the exam point of view. Why? Because these are very important. Okay, I hope all of the members able to see in the screen clearly. Okay, so just please try to observe now. 3 steps are used for to recover the data from system crashes. So that means whenever system crashes are occurred, then we are using 3 steps for any type of the algorithm. So in the exam point of view, maybe asking about what about series recovery algorithm, which type of recovery algorithm, so or maybe wall based recovery algorithm. Okay, so in this type of different types of recovery algorithms are there. Just only I'm saying about only one thing. So that is ARIES algorithm. AREIS, ARIES. What is the meaning of ARIES? Algorithm for recovery isolation. Okay, algorithm for recovery isolation and exploiting the semantics. So that means it will be giving us some systematic procedure. So how we are retrieving the data from the failures also. Okay, so what are the which type of steps are we are using here? So in the last class also I'm saying about that. So first one is here we are performing the analysis. Okay, what about the second one? So that is nothing but redo. And what about the third one? Undo. So these 3 steps are used for to recovering the data from the failures or system crashes. Okay, I think the name is implies in which type of a it will be recover the data from the failures. So that means first of all performing the analysis. So in this analysis verifying so which type of transactions are active at the time of occurring the crashes to the system, and at the same time verifying how many number of transactions are not committed to the disk, so at the time of occurrence of the crashes to the system. Okay, so that is the analysis phase. So that means here we are verifying whether the transaction is performing the transaction completely or not, and whether it is committed to the disk or not. So if it is committed to the disk, then only we are able to recover the data from the failure. Am I right or not? So that means so maybe during the execution of the transaction, maybe occurring the crashes to the system, then there is no chance of to performing the commit by the particular transaction. So those type of transactions are we are not able to recover from the failures. So that's why So if you observe here the redo, so what about the redo? So in this here we are repeating the same actions. So what about the meaning of what is the meaning of redo? So again we are performing the same thing. So that means which type of things are we are performing the same thing means nothing but so which are already committed to the disk. So which type of transactions are already committed to the disk? So those are only we are able to recover the data from the failures. Okay, so that is nothing but the step of redo. Okay, then what about the undo? So which are not committed to the disk at the time of occurring the crashes to the system. So those are we try to delete those type of entries or those type of operations from the transaction manager. Okay, so then only we are able to recover the data which are already committed to the disk. So that is the nothing but recovery procedure here. So for any type of the recovery, so we try to remember these type of 3 steps are needed. Okay, so in the last class also I'm saying about that. So if you observe here, if you observe here, yeah, recovery and atmosity. When a DBMS recovers from the crash, it should maintain the following. So the first one, it should check the states of all the transactions. So that means they are committed or not, which were being executed. A transaction may be being in the middle of some operation. The DBMS must ensure the atmosity of the transaction in this case. So that means some of the transaction may be in the middle of the execution. So those are not satisfying with the property of atmosity. So it should check whether the transaction can be completed now. It needs to be rolled back. So that means which are not completed, then we need to performing the rollback. What it means, rollback means nothing but delete that operation. Okay, so or maybe restart that particular transaction. No transactions would be allowed to leave the DBMS in inconsistent state. So that means maybe here we are not leaving any one of the transaction in the state of inconsistent. So that means at any time of the situation we are only consider the consistent values according to the properties of ACID. So that is the property of consistency. Okay, there are 2 types of techniques which can help DBMS recovering as well as maintaining the atmosphere of transaction, maintaining the logs of each transaction. In the last class also we are discussing about this log based recovery. So what is the meaning of log? Here we are maintaining the history of the transactions. So in which type of they are performing the execution, which type of operations are performed. So whether it is executed or not, whether it is maybe performing the read operation on the particular data item or not. Everything, every operation will be recorded in the log. So log is nothing but a history of the actions of the transaction. Okay. So on writing them onto some stable storage before actually modifying the database. So and second type of technique is maintaining shadow pacing, where the changes are done on a volatile memory and later the actual database is updated. So then now we try to discuss about the log based recovery. So in the exam point of view, also asking the question is in the same manner. How we are record the data from the system crashes. So what to be done whenever occurring the system crashes to the system, or in which type of way we are record the data from the log based recovery. So how do we are how do we are record the data from the failures? So whatever it may be the question, but answer is the same. Okay, so here asking in different types of ways. So the first one is here the log based recovery. The name is in place. Here we are recover the data based upon log. So what is a log? Log is a sequence of record. Which one? So which maintains the records of actions performed with the transaction. So that means which type of actions are performed with the transaction. So those type of things are noted in that particular log. Okay, it is important the logs are written prior to the actual modification and stored on the stable storage media, which is file safe. Okay, log based recovery works as follows. The log file is kept on a stable storage media. When transaction enters the system, starts its execution, it writes log about it. So that means if you are observe here, so what it writes here, so tn start, am right? So that means the particular transaction starts its execution. That is written into the log. Okay, so when the transaction modifies an item X, it writes logs as follows. So if you observe here, tn perform the particular data item. So performing the change from value from v1 to v2. So for example, initially x value equal to 10. Then the transaction may be changing the value of the x from 10 to 15. Okay, so that means which type of operation is also performed. So the same thing is also maintained into the log. Okay, it reads Tn has changed the value of X from V1 to V2. When the transaction finish, it logs to the commit. So Tn is commit. So that means here the transaction is committed to the disk. So that means the database can be modified using two approaches here. So deferred database modification, immediate database modification. Here the name is implies. So when we are performing some updation on the particular data item by the particular transaction, so maybe those type of changes are immediately written to the disk. So the type of the achievement where the type of approach will be referred as an immediate database modification. So if we are consider some time and we need to we need to upload all modifications at a time to the disk. So that is nothing but a deferred database modification. Okay, I hope all of the members able to understood this. So then what about the checkpoint? So checkpoint is also used for to identify that particular time of that particular transaction. Okay, in which time? So on the for example, we are committed to the transaction. So on which checkpoint? Okay, here the checkpoint notices the time. Okay, so keeping and maintaining the logs in real time, in real environment may fill out all memory space available in the system. As time passes, the log file may grow too big, be handled at all. Checkpoint is a mechanism where all the previous logs are removed from the system and stored permanently in a storage disk. So that means here, so when we are record the data from the failures, then checkpoints are most checkpoints are useful to recover the data from the failures. Okay, so those are used for to identify the portion of the particular transaction and which type of operation is performed on the particular data item. That is also we can able to identify, and we are able to identify whether it is committed or not. Okay, checkpoint declares a point before which the DBMS was consistent state and all the transactions were committed. So that means which are already committed to the disk. So those are we are able to recover from the failures. Okay, when a system with a concurrent transaction crashes and recovers, it behaves in the following manner. Okay, if you are observed here, T2 and T3 in the safe state. Okay, but T4 in the middle of the execution. So that type of the transactions we are not able to recover. Okay, so all these things are we are already discussed in the last class. Okay, now we try to discuss about the next topic. So this is the second part of the fifth unit. Okay, please remember this, and this is the last topics of the fifth unit. Okay, up to now we are discussing about what is a transaction, what is a transaction management, what are the properties of the transaction management, what are the states of the transaction. Okay, so what is a schedule, what are the types of schedules. Okay, what is the serializability, what are the types of serializability. Okay, and what are the problems when we are consider the interleaved execution. Okay, so up to now we're discussing about the different types of storage devices. Okay, and how we are recording the data, what is the importance of Atomosity. Okay, how we are record the data by using the checkpoints. So these type of topics are we are discussed up to now. So now we'll try to discuss about the second part of the fifth unit. Okay, each and every unit having maybe the chance two parts are there. So maybe the fifth unit is having the two parts. So that means here combine the two units and merge it as a two units as a single unit. Okay, so now we try to discuss about the first topic. So that is B plus tree, and we also know about what is a tree. What is a tree? So tree means nothing but it consists of leaf node at the same time right nodes. Okay, so left node and right node, and maintains the root node. So that will be the type of the shape will be referred as a tree. We also know about the tree is nothing but a collection of nodes. Okay, so one is maintained at the left side and another one is maintained at the right side. So now we are consider the B plus tree. I think you are already studied in the data structures. Okay, just to try to repeat now. Okay, the B plus tree is a balanced binary search tree. What is the meaning of binary search tree? What is the meaning of binary? So either 0 or 1. Okay, so binary means 0 or 1. So that means here in some type of situations consider both. So 0 and 1 also. So that means here binary means 2. Okay, so the B plus tree is a balanced binary search tree. It follows a multi-level. It follows a multi-level index format. So that means here we are using more than one index. Okay, in the B plus tree, leaf nodes denotes the actual data pointers, and B plus tree ensures that all the leaf nodes remain at the same height. So that means how we are able to identify whether it is a B tree or maybe the B plus tree means in the case of B plus tree, all leaf nodes maintained at the same height. Okay, please remember this. Okay, and so that means here we are using most of the chance. Here we are maintaining the chance. So nothing but here we are one level. One level is for root node, and another one is level is maintained for the leaf nodes. Okay. Okay, now we try to discuss about the remaining points. So in the B plus tree, the leaf nodes are linked using a linked list. So that means, therefore, a B plus tree can support random access as well as sequential access. What is the meaning of random access and sequential access? So that means when we are storing some data into the particular storage, here maybe the chance occurring, one is the way is sequential access, and another one is the random access, and another one is based upon the indexer based also. So that means what is the meaning of access? Here we are performing the read operation. So that means when we are storing some data into the particular storage, then we can retrieve any number of times according to our particular requirement. So that is based upon the different types of ways. Here read operation performed. So sequential access means nothing but one by one. So for example, if we want to access the 20th file, so then first read the one, next read the two, next read the three. So up to 20 is reached. So if we are maintaining the same type of the sequence to access the data, so that the type of the access will be referred as the sequential access. So in the case of random access, so simply we are selecting some file. So based upon that index, so whether we are moving forward or maybe the backward. In the case of, I think you already know about this binary search. So how we are performing the binary search? Simply, so we are nothing but combine the, adding the first point and last point by 2. Am I right or not? So nothing but we are find out the middle one. So if it is less than the middle one, go for to the left side. So if it is greater than the right, particular middle point, then move forward to the right side. So in the same way, here also we are randomly based upon to the one value, and based upon that value, we are performing the search. Here in the case of B plus tree, we are performing either insertion or deletion or search our required data. Okay. So now we try to see the structure of the B plus tree. So in the B plus tree, every leaf node is at equal distance from the root node. So that means, so from the root node, each and every leaf is maintained at the same level. Okay. And same distance. The B plus tree is the order of n, where n is fixed for every B plus tree. Okay. So it contains the internal node and leaf node. So that means here we are consider the two things. So one is it contains internal node. So that means some value is there, and leaf node. So which are from the root node. So those are considered as the leaf nodes. What is the internal? An internal node of the B plus tree can contain at least n by 2 record pointers except the root node. So that means, for example, if we are consider the n nodes, so then definitely B plus tree can contain at least n by 2 record pointers except the root node. Okay, n by 2 pointers are there. At most, an internal node of the tree contains n pointers. Okay, so that means here we are maintaining n by 2 record pointers. Okay, and another one is the n pointers also. Okay, leaf node. So the leaf node of the B plus tree can contain at least n by 2 record pointers and n by 2 key values. Okay, at most a leaf node contains an record pointer and key values. Every leaf node of the B plus tree contains one block pointer B to point the next leaf node. Okay, searching a record in B plus tree. For example, if we want to search particular number 55. Okay, how we are searching the 55 in the below B plus tree searcher. So first, if you observe here, I think you are able to see the screen. Sorry. Okay, if you observe here, so 3 pointers are there in the root node. Okay, 25, 50, 75. Okay, some other node is also empty. Okay, so now if you observe here, so 25 having the 2 pointers, 50 having the 2 pointers, and 75 having the another pointer. Okay, so these pointers are used for to locating the another node. Okay, we also know about that what is a node, what is a value. Okay, so I need not to explain again and again. Okay, so if you observe here, so we need to search where is the 55. Okay, here we are performing the search operation. So we try to find out the, suppose we have to search 55 in the below B plus tree structure. Okay, so then first of all here, so the index so will be maintained like this. So that means, for example, if you observe here 50 having the 2 pointers, so that means which are less than the 50, those are maintained at the left side leaf node. So which are greater than 50, those are maintained at the right side leaf node pointer. Okay, so now we try to search to find out the 55. So it is greater than the 50, am right? So that's why we try to search in this pointer of this leaf node. So compare with the each and every node 50, 55. So 55 is there. So that means here we are easily find out the our required element by using B plus tree. Then how we are inserting our required element into the B plus. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. So if you observe here, so in this B plus tree structure, now if we want to add some other element, so the element value is 60, then how we are performing the insertion? Okay, so just I'm explaining how we are find out the 55, but I'm not studying this material. So please try to study once, read once. Okay, suppose we have to search 55 in the below B plus tree structure. First, we will fetch the intermediately node which will direct to the leaf node that can contain a record for 55. So in the intermediary node, we will find a branch between 50 and 75. So actually 50 and 75 is there. So it is less than the 75 and greater than the 50. So both are the same. I'm right. So that at end we will redirect to the third leaf node. Here the DBMS will perform a sequential search to find out 55. Okay. So next we want to try to insert the particular node. So then how we are insert that and where we are inserting that. So if you observe here, so first of all we try to observe where we are inserting. So the search process starts from the root node only. So where we are placing that node actually, so we don't know whether the place is there or not. Okay, we don't know about that, but we try to include that pointer. Okay, so first of all, if you observe here, so 60. So what is the meaning of 60? It is greater than 50 and less than 75. So selecting this pointer. Okay. Next we try to add the 60, but each and every particular node having the 4 values only. So when we are inserting the 60, so then it will be 5. So we can split into the 2 types. Okay, so please try to observe here. So we try to insert another record. Okay, so if you observe here, 50 55 is there, 65 70 is there. Okay, so that means if you observe here, so nothing but here we are based upon to the 60. Okay, so here we are inserting one new element into the root node. Okay, 50 60. Okay, 50 greater than, so those type of elements are placed in the right side of the leaf for the 50. So what are they? 50 and 55 is there. Okay, in the same way, if we are insert 60, so those are also maintained at the, so in the right side leaf. Okay, so in this type of way we are performing the insertion. Then how we are performing the deletion? For example, if we want to delete this 60, if we want to delete this 60, then what happened? So root node will be maintained at the only 3 nodes, and remaining these 2 nodes will be forming as a new node. Simple. Okay, in this type of way we are nothing but performing the insertion and deletion. Okay, I will try to discuss the same topic in the next class. Okay, I will try to complete the syllabus within the next week. So maybe our syllabus completed on or before 26 of this month. Okay, so I will try to complete that, and don't try to get absent. If you're having any doubt about the doubts, you can ask me. I will send you the material after the completion of this unit. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, if you're having any doubt about the doubts, you can ask me personally. Okay, may I close my session now? May I end my session now? May I end my session? Okay, thank you, one and all. Take care, all of you.